Hello, how's it going?
Not too bad, Ty. All good.
I'm all good now. I'm just this Dream Chase podcast. So I'm just introduce myself here. My name is Toig. This is Liam.
Nice. Good to be on.
Yeah, 100%. And this is Brian. So this is my first episode one, Dream Chase podcast. You can have a listen. We're gonna be getting more guests on in the future and stuff, but these are the two first ones. Liam, introduce yourself. Where are you from?
Well, I'm Liam, obviously, as you said.
Yeah.
I'm over in Dubai now 4 months.
Hmm.
4.5, 5 months now, actually, at the end of this month.
Sounds myself. It's not too bad, is it?
No, absolutely settling in nicely. So Brian here convinced me to come over. It's probably about 7 or 8 months ago now.
Right.
So he got the idea into my head. And that was it, to be honest. There was no real looking back after that. He put the idea into my head and I just kind of pounced
Just went
that.
with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I was working in London at the time and just needed a change of scenery.
Of course, yeah.
Brian was over here doing well enough, so I said, okay,
Jump on
why
the
not?
bandwagon.
Absolutely, give it a go.
Yeah,
give
yeah,
it a go.
yeah.
So that's pretty much how I ended up here. It was a quick turnaround between being in London and then being here, but that's the way I like to have it.
Were you originally from yourself, Liam?
So I'm Cavan myself. Not as bad as it sounds. So
Of course.
in Ireland, obviously, yeah. From Cavan in Ireland. It's about, for anyone who doesn't know, it's about an hour north of Dublin. Small town called Kingscourt. But yes, small town, like population of about 2,500, 3,000 people.
Right.
Yeah, so I'd say.
What was it like growing up in Cavan yourself? Like, was it?
Yeah,
was it interesting, like the way Dublin's interesting, or what way does it work?
It's a different kettle of fish altogether, I'd say.
Yeah.
Anyway, and that's for sure. No, but it's good though. It was good. It was quiet. Quiet, I suppose, and that's probably why I like to travel so much too. Kind of get outside that, push the boundaries a little bit.
Push the limits. Yeah, of course.
Get outside your comfort
It's the
zone.
smallest towns that do the best. Any of the people from them, you know.
But that's
the thing, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
For yourself, what about yourself, Brian?
Yeah, I'm from Sligo. I came here a year ago. Obviously in real estate, like the three of us are in real estate. I came out of university, studied psychology up in Dublin in DCU. The opportunity just came across my desk one day when I was just applying for jobs, and I just went for it. Like, it just seemed
what drew you to take that step to come to Dubai? Was it in your mind that you wanted to move away to the hot country, or was it just?
No, Dubai was never really kind of on my radar. It's never
Right.
somewhere that I wanted to go. Never somewhere that I really envisioned myself. It didn't really feel like Dubai called out to me for any reason.
Okay.
I just came out of college. I realized that there wasn't many opportunities out there for me. I was going to have to go back into a few years of education. So I thought, look, why not take this opportunity? I think deep down, like internally somewhere, real estate called out to me in terms of sales.
Yeah.
And then, I made the move last year, and rest is history, to be honest. And I see myself here for the next few years, just in terms of the opportunities, the job itself, and
Exactly.
people that I get to.
How are you finding the real estate business these yourselves? Like in general, the two of you, like
it's
you work for the same company, correct?
Yeah,
Same
company. We work for the same company, and it's a lot to take in. Like coming straight here, you've got no expectations. All you have to rely on is what somebody recruiter told you. So you don't really have any expectations except what you might find on social media, which, in my opinion, is completely false. So it's difficult being almost self-employed. You don't really have any time to clock in, clock out. There's nobody over your shoulder, but the opportunities are endless. Like we always,
especially with commission based as well, it's quite hard.
Yeah.
As myself now, I'm 4 months here myself, but it's just I notice when you're working commission based and you're doing real estate, the job is fantastic, but when you're trying your hardest to work towards something, it's especially in Dubai, it's like one of the best things that I ever dreamed of. Anything myself, I don't know about yourselves, but commission based is a tough game. Doesn't matter where you are, but it's better to do it in Dubai.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Like it's good the fact that it's up to yourself too. Whatever you put in, you put out, you get out of it. Like,
exactly.
If you're not doing well, you have no one to blame but yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
Like you see all these agents happen from company to company, thinking things will change
The green,
here, there, and everywhere.
The grass is green on the other side. It doesn't happen.
It never is.
Doesn't
like
happen.
that's if you're not putting in the work, like it's going to be the same every
exactly.
day.
And then what I always only think of, like myself, like it's just what you put in. Exactly what you said. What you put in is what you get out. But you as a person, you have to develop your person. Do you know what I mean? It's not all about the money end. You have to develop into an agent and mold yourself into an agent that you want to become.
Yeah,
and have the vision for yourself.
So how do you develop yourself?
Well, it depends on what you want out of life. You can go deeper into like you could your goals, etc. But for me personally, I like going to the gym, meditating, reading, all the positive things that you should be doing, knowing you should be doing, and then actually taking a step and doing them. There's a difference between doing something and not doing them, and then planning it out. And but once you take that next step, it's just
Yeah, I think the big thing is just taking that initial step. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
Like, and even for yourself, like you're saying before we come on here, like this is your first time doing a podcast, and like that's a step for you. Do you know what I mean? But like unless you put yourself outside of your comfort zone, like
you're not gonna,
you can't bet yourself. Do you know what I mean? You don't develop as a person. So I think putting yourself outside of your comfort zone, for me anyway, is a massive part of improving as a person. I think living with Brian this year too, obviously, he's kind of been in the routine for an extra 6 or 7 months longer than me. More than that, 8 months.
So he's able to show you the ropes and stuff, you know?
Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, show you the path.
One benefit obviously was I wasn't just relying on a recruiter telling me the truth when I was coming over.
Exactly. You had the harsh truth from him, the ups and the downs of the life over here. Exactly. Like, I come over here, look, I think it was 2 years ago, I come over for a holiday. When you come over for a holiday and you come over for work, it's a totally different thing. So there's a lot of people texting me from back at home in Dublin. How did you get the job? Where did you go to get a job? What recruiters? What way did you do it? What things do you need? I was saying to myself, these people think that you come over to Dubai and it's the Dubai life. It's not really. You actually have to put the work in real estate. I found that out. I'm still finding out now to this day. You just have to put the work in real estate and in anything over. Yeah. It doesn't get nothing's handy on the play. It's the same as Dubai. You're around certain people. You put yourself in different circumstances. That's it. But it's about you.
I think that's the whole expectations versus reality. Like, if your information based is based off like Dubai Hustle or TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, I mean, we live in an attention economy, as so many people say in Dubai. It's like those are the things that get the most views, the most clicks, the most likes. So those are the things that people see the most, and it's really tough to see people who move over with those expectations. And when the reality of is, oh shit, this isn't going to be as easy as I thought it was.
Yeah, of course.
And then within a few months, they're gone home with all their savings. Like
that's what happens.
To see.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think there's a lot to it. Like it's not only working hard. Like there's so many elements of what it takes to be successful here. Like I find it really interesting what you're saying about developing yourself outside of work.
Of course.
Yourself, and then how that feeds into work, because we always go by the mantra that it's a performance-based role.
No, it's not. Like it's the mind of. I think personally, for me, I don't know. You could probably agree, but me as a person is developing your mind before your body. Like your mind comes first, then your body, and after that, then it's just like I found like as I started into the routine. Before I come over here, I knew I was taking a step to come to the boy, like before probably 2 months. And the interesting part of it was what I found along the journey that I'm still on now was the fact that I used to do sea swimming every day. You know, doing cold plunges, gym, everything that you're supposed to do to read helps you a lot. A lot of people don't get that factors in before they come here, and I think it's a very big step that you can take.
Yeah, absolutely. But obviously, like doing all those things are to increase your performance as a real estate agent. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
And like that's what kind of Brian was going back to. Like you're almost, you need to be performing like you're an athlete. Do you know what I mean? You need to be in the mindset that you're an athlete. You're working hard. You need to be eating right, getting your sleep. Do you know what I mean? And it's hard work at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, 100%. I agree.
So I think like as Brian was saying, if you come over here with that mindset that you see on Instagram that you go to Dubai and you get rich quick,
it doesn't happen like that. No, if it was like that, then we wouldn't be sitting here. We'd be sitting in a castle somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna be home packing soon enough. Like
definitely, 100% agree. Definitely.
Yeah, like if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, and people take the path of the most easy thing. And people come over in that holiday mindset and come to Dubai and think, you know, this is just going to be a walk in the park. There is so many elements to it, and not only just working hard, you have to work smart.
Exactly.
I mean, we could all do 12-hour days and get absolutely nowhere.
Exactly.
So you have to pick the things that give you the most leverage. Think outside the box, because there's 20,000 real estate agents here. It's like, what is your unique selling point?
Yeah, what makes you different to everybody else? Of course.
And you will be surprised how low the bar actually is, because the way that the industry is painted, it attracts a certain kind of people.
Exactly. I totally agree.
Because the carrot in front of everybody's face seems so, you know, big and so attainable that everyone's just running towards it. But when you kind of change the frame of thinking and understand, look, I'm here for a long time. I just want to deal with the most amount of people. I want to build long-term relationships and actually treat some people with honesty, integrity, and respect. It gets you so much further than you.
That's a really big thing that I want to touch off is respect. A lot of people from different areas to come over and they just think, yeah, we'll go out this weekend. Respect goes a long way. Respect there's two types of respect. There's respecting people in general, like yourselves, and then there's respecting yourself as a person. But as you start to respect yourself as a person, it all kind of goes down into the one line. You start to treating other people right. You'll understand as you're reaching out to other people. You're moving to a new country. There's a lot of things when you're moving to the boy. I've realised in the past 4 months. Now, me personally, I came with the holiday frame one. Like that's just me. I did, and as I start gradually now over the past few months, I said, Jesus, it really is quite hard. It's not as easy as shiny as it looks on Instagram or how, there is tough times over here. People have to realise that, and I just think when you're coming from circumstances where you're always challenged, this type of thing is like light work to me personally. But I don't know why it's yourselves. It's about where you want to go with your life and what challenges you want, what way you want to take yourself as a person and grow into as an agent.
For you, what drew you to Dubai? Do you know what I mean? What took you out of Dublin and brought you over here?
Basically, where I grew up in Dublin, I'm from Dublin 1, Summer Hill, Rutland Street, Liberty House. I don't know if you know that. It's Dublin 1 anyways. The type of place where I grew up was like, I always wanted to do one thing only in my life. Up until I was about, from very young, from about 12 up to about 20, I just wanted to do the same thing. Hang around in the flats, do what I wanted to do with the boys and stuff. But something came to my mind when I was 20 years of age, I said, no, I want out. And I think if you don't get that switch by a certain age in the communities that I come from, you're either going one way or the other. You're going down a bad path or you're going down a good path. It's up to you to choose. And when you sit back and you realise, right, this is actually serious, this is life. I started to make these choices and then came across real estate. Where did I come across it? I actually came across it on Instagram. And one of my friends actually from school, he was down over here, Kieran Delaney. He was in my class, so I reached out to him. He was like, mate, it's the best thing I ever done in my life. Come to Dubai. Never mind real estate. Real estate is a bonus. Living in this city is great. I said, oh yeah, fuck that. I've been there on holiday. It was a great city. Came, meeting new people as you look at yourselves, Brian and Liam. I'm just gradually trying to better myself. But before I came to Dubai, I only 1 month in advance I knew I was going. Yeah. But before that, I was grafting in the gym, as I said, meditating, reading, sea swims, all of that, developed my mind. And then over time, I started to do videos on Instagram, opening my mind up to doing, and then here I am today doing a podcast. So
yeah, absolutely. And like even you're in the mindset of bettering yourself before Dubai was even in the question.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and like, I would think that without putting words in your mouth, like that would have helped you a long way. You know, you're already in that mindset of, right, I need to do 100%. Better for myself.
Yeah, definitely.
So when this opportunity arose, like you obviously just jumped on it.
Yeah, take it with the hands, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But like, even when I was a kid, like with the cards I was dealt, I always wanted to be the best person I could be for me and myself, and then obviously for my family as well. On top of that, because like there's certain situations where where I grow up, and family members and stuff, they all go down the same path. Yeah, they all go down the same path. So for me, developing as a person and learning from my past family's mistakes led me to making all the right decisions in my life so far. Well, the best I can, anyways. You know what I mean? As I grow into a man, and just take it on the chin, show me forward. You know,
it's definitely not easy. Like moving away from your family, from your friends, like from what you know, from what's comfortable. Was that difficult for you, like to move away?
Yeah, very difficult. Like people, like from the outside, people look in. Everybody thinks to me is like, oh yeah, he's whatever. He's having the boys living there up. He's out here. He's doing this. He's on yachts. These things, like for me, it was very difficult. People don't realize the difficulty that it was for me to come over here, like as a person, and say, right, leave me family behind. Perfect, no problem. But now, as I thought before I come over here, I said to myself, I won't even miss home. I won't miss Aunt. I want to get out because I always wanted to get out from 2 years ago, as I said, because I'm 22 now. So would have been 2 years. I've always said, no, I won't miss home. 4 months in now, and I'm missing home. Today, I miss home. I miss my family. I miss my friends. I miss my area. But what I do is I go back to myself and my roots. Like music used to help me out back at home. Like I used to go to the gym, listen to music. So I listened to the music that I used to listen at home with all the bad times and all the struggles and all the obstacles that we take on as people. I listen to them and then that reminds me of where I was, and then I just say, fuck that.
Yeah, absolutely. And
go forward. You know what I mean?
You hear so many people saying too, like, if like that time in your life where it's self-development and you're improving as a person will be the loneliest time in your life.
100%.
You hear so many people saying that, like, and if it's not lonely, you're not doing it right.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean?
Exactly.
You're shifting your mindset, and then that, like, obviously that's going to be different from the people you grew up with.
100%. Definitely.
So you're moving away from them, or you're moving away from your hometown, or maybe you're shifting your mindset from your family's mindset, or whatever.
Exactly.
So you're going to be on your own for a while. until you find your kind of tribe again, or a group. And like, I think that's myself and Brian over here. Like when we moved over first, obviously it is lonely. Like it's a big city, and
it's a big. You're in a Muslim country as well. You have to remember what foreigners in the country, and it is difficult.
It's not home, like, you know.
It's not home, yeah.
And like it can be a soulless place at times, especially when you move over. Like everyone's just running around doing their own thing. A lot of relationships in this city are transactional too. It's just what people can get out of it, and we felt that especially when we came over. So like that's why we started our podcast. You know, it's probably for us to learn ourselves and speak to people that have walked kind of this path before us.
Yeah,
try and learn as much from them as we can. And then kind of the second reason, like, and obviously if we can put that out there and other people can learn from that too, that's massive.
It's great, yeah.
And then I suppose the second side of that too is trying to build a sense of community too, of like-minded people, of people that have the same kind of morals and goals and stuff as us,
and want to better ourselves as people in general.
Exactly.
Like one of the big things for me back at home was like when I put my first Instagram video up of like just put my first Instagram video up of just being on the Instagram, people like text me saying, "Oh, fair play." But a lot of people I know will be saying, "What's wrong with him? Yeah. But at the end of the day, what I've learned is there's two main things that I've learned. I'm only 22 because I'm not saying like I know everything. But for what I've learned from my path in life is like, if you can control your emotions, you can go through anything and fuck what people think, you know, and just take that next step if you feel like you want to take the next step. Not just the way it is in this life. And I think if that's just the way it is, some people don't get it, some people do get it. Some people are interested in making a new life. Some people are happy to stand on the same corner or walk in the same butchers or walk in the same spar. People are happy to do that. Yeah. Some other people want different out of life, and it's up to you, like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, because it's comfortable, like that's nice. It's nice for some people. It's nice for not. For some others, like we definitely need people doing those sort of things, or we'd all be in Dubai. Do you find Dubai like Liam touched on there, like sometimes we feel like that Dubai is full of like lonely people, like lost people. Like, have you had any?
110%, 110%. I've like me personally.
Yeah.
I'm when I'm at home now the past couple of years, I've been trying to stick to myself, obviously to stay out of trouble in the area, and that's just the gospel truth. So when as me as a person, I was always lonely anyways, because people was always doing like certain things. I always expect myself to want more. And then I got to the stage where I wanted more. So it was kind of a lonely process, that alone. And then when you come to Dubai, it's just everyone's the same.
Yeah.
Everyone stays the same. We're all like human, we all want kind of the same kind of thing. And this is why people come to Dubai, because it's the land of opportunity, and everyone is definitely lonely as they come to this place. Definitely.
I think somebody framed it recently like there's a difference between alone and lonely. Like lonely is you're properly missing people. Alone is like you're taking, a period away from everybody else. But that's why we kind of set up the playbook. We meet up every Sunday with people like us who want to connect on a deeper level, who don't want just transactional relationships, where maybe we don't want to go out on a Saturday night.
Exactly.
We don't want to be hungover.
Yeah,
we want to go for a run on the beach.
Want to go to the gym. Want to hit the gym. Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Speak about something that is deeper and more thought-provoking than, just your general kind of chit-chat and small talk that people speak with here. And if it's for nothing except we're meeting people and friends for ourselves, then I think that's the massive difference.
Yeah.
Because I spent 9 months here by myself, living alone in a studio, and just walking the path completely alone. Right. I was lonely and alone.
I'd say that was tough.
It was and it wasn't. Like I only realized how lonely I was when I've got the hindsight to look back and point to that as a period of when I was lonely. Like having Liam here has changed it completely. Like I'm still hitting the same targets. I'm still achieving the same goals. But it's been so much more easy. Like we as humans make things way harder than they need
complicated.
To be. Way harder. And
of course,
I always kind of have this thing where like if it's not hard, it's not worthwhile. And I make everything a bit harder than it needs to be. And then having kind of Liam here, having that connection, having somebody walking the same path with me, and someone who is going through the same shit as me, that
it's relatable. You can bounce off each other on different levels.
Exactly. And there's no need to make it that much harder.
And he just makes it harder for me then. So I'm here trying to make it as easy as possible.
Yeah.
Sticking it back. But no, 100% right. Like it's so easy to meet people. There's people everywhere. It's so easy to meet people in the city. But to meet people that are on the same wavelength as you, and people that want to make connections that are more than just chatting shite with someone over a pint on a Saturday night, is massive, So I suppose that's what we're aiming to do on a Sunday. Look, we'll be down in Kite Beach on a Sunday. For anyone listening to this, feel free to join us. Come down, go for a run, a coffee, and a swim, and just have a chat.
Just have a chat.
Try to get to know people.
It's about like imagine being in the pub in Dublin,
exactly,
Cavan or Sligo. Imagine being in the pub and again just 20 odd years of age, sitting in the pub, like talking. What?
Exactly. There's more to that. You know what I mean? You can get up on a Sunday morning, get out, get active, have a conversation with people that's not just surface levels. You know, get deeper into it. Which I think has been huge since I came over here. Even having Brian there, like you miss interacting with other people. And since we started going down and having our social Sundays, it's massive because you're having conversations with people you never would meet otherwise.
Yeah. Exactly, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So,
because you're forced to, like, you're putting yourself in that position.
Yeah.
And because everybody here is a foreigner, as we said, there's no communities. Like, you didn't grow up all on the same street. You can't go
exactly.
You
can't.
Neighbors. You can't, you know, pop next door for whatever. So these communities, we will see them popping up, and we need to start thinking who's going to be the next generation here. It's going to be us, and what are we building, and their long.
Who you're communicating, and what situations are you putting in? Like, you know, it's just like as I was at a meeting there like a couple of hours ago. Like, I dreamt of meeting that person, and I said to myself, you know, I'm just going to walk in and I'm going to meet and greet him today and see what's going on. Invite him to the meeting and something. I was like, Jesus. And now I'm sitting on this podcast and now I'm saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's about the position you put yourself in and the person that you want to become. And
pushing them boundaries.
Yeah, and then finding the people then on the like-minded packages ourselves, like, makes that a bit easier. You're gonna get there, and then eventually, once you just keep pushing.
100%, man. I think, and if you continue to put yourself outside of your comfort zone, like it's your comfort zone for a reason, and beyond that zone, that's where the benefits are. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So if you even bit by bit, like you walking in and introducing yourself to him today, that's that 1%. You're putting yourself outside of your comfort zone. That
exactly.
1%. And now afterwards, you're that 1% better. So if you can keep on doing that day on day, pushing those boundaries, man, you're going the right direction.
Yeah, definitely.
And I found recently, anytime like that crops up, when I'm just going, when somebody asks me to do something or invites me to do whatever, and I get that bit of, oh, I'm uncomfortable with that. That's something I would hate to do.
That means you should do it.
I'm just like, okay, I'll do it.
Of course, yeah. Go for it.
I have to do it now.
Yeah,
that's self-critic.
But leaning into things that are uncomfortable, leaning into things that you're bad at, leaning into things that you wouldn't do, and forcing yourself to do it. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. But you know, the sacrifice, you can sacrifice a few hours to do the thing.
Exactly.
And see what happens.
You'll never regret, like, you know what I mean? You'll never regret kind of pushing. Well, you never regret pushing boundaries. I regret pushing boundaries many times. You know what I mean? Like, you never regret taking that leap outside of your comfort zone. You know what I mean? Right. Worst thing that's happened is you make a fool of yourself, and you're embarrassed for the day. But like, the flip side of that is you will regret not doing it. You know what I mean? Even when I was talking about coming over here, it's like I was offered a good package to stay in London. I was like, will I stay? Will I go? Will I stay? Will I go? And Brian kind of said to me, like, if you stay, grand, you're getting X amount or whatever, but you'll sit there on a Tuesday evening thinking, like, what would I be doing now if I was in Dubai on a Tuesday evening? Do you know what I mean?
Could be on the beach.
Exactly. A Monday evening, 8 o'clock here or 7 o'clock this evening, sitting recording a podcast. I mean, what would I be at in London? So it's that thing of like, right, if I go and I don't like it, I can come back. But if I sit here and don't go, I'll be wondering every day, what if? Do you know what I mean?
What if?
You have to choose.
It's about just taking that next step. That's what it boils down to. And what I really think as a person, like, it depends on the individual, what they want out of life. I know loads of people that's happy with their life, but I'm not happy with my life, so it doesn't mean that I have to be happy with what you have going on in your life. I want to step out of my comfort zone, so I'm going to do that. And as you gradually do that, and like, you come to the boy and you're doing podcasts at 8 o'clock in the evening, and you're meeting new people, and it's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's great. It's absolutely great. I find it great.
Like, you wouldn't have saw yourself in this position like back in Dublin a year ago.
Jesus Christ, no.
Of Monday evening,
Jesus
sitting
Christ,
here
no.
chatting to a fella from Cavan and Sligo, you know?
Yeah, definitely not.
So, like, pushing those boundaries, God only knows where it could be in a year's time. So,
exactly.
I mean, you push those boundaries, and now you're sitting here. So you keep pushing those boundaries. Where will you be in another 365 days?
What will be those things that in a year from now you'll look back and be like, I would have never thought that was coming around the corner.
Like, I'm sitting here as I'm speaking to you, as I'm looking to you, as I'm going through this mic, it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
I looked at many podcasts and said, I'd love to be on one. I'd love to start me on one. I dreamt for so many times that done it, didn't do it. Bang, now I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to do it.
Absolutely.
And that's just it.
Biting the bullet and just
biting the bullet. To be honest with you, like, this is the only time that they're getting into myself now. Especially with the real estate, you know how busy it is, the market. You're running around like a headless chicken. You're doing viewings at 10 o'clock in the night. Well, I was anyways, and then you're doing viewings at 9 o'clock in the morning. So you don't really get that time to settle down. And what I found is, when you move country, people think it's easy. Oh, he's going to the gym every day. I actually lost my structure of life when I come over here because of with the new job.
Okay.
And I found like I'm really finding it hard. Like I'm now today, like as like even the days go on, I'm still trying to get that structure that I had at home adapted to the Dubai scene and the Dubai life and the Dubai community and the real estate community, because like for me, like going to the gym and stuff is a very big part, and I fell off that for a while over here because of obviously working. You're trying your best to hit the targets and get so much and they'll move in. And
yeah, I did the exact same. And like when I first came over here, I thought, let me just sacrifice the gym, let me sacrifice eating healthy. I didn't realize how much that spilled into my work. When I actually sacrificed those things, it took away from my work.
Yeah.
So I think that is one thing that's going to move the needle for you, getting that structure.
Yeah.
Like some people look at our lives as unbelievably overly structured. We know what time we're getting up, what time we're eating, what we're eating for the whole week on a Sunday. I know what my week is going to look like. I know exactly who I'm speaking to and everything like that. So it allows for more flexibility because I'm not making those micro decisions of what am I eating? What time am I going to the gym? Am I going to the gym today? It's the structure to allow for creative flow within that. And I think having a structure like that, moving it from Dublin to Dubai, just picking up your life as if you're back home but up here and doing the exact same things, then you will get such a head start over anybody else in the field.
100%.
And like when you come here, it takes a bit of tweaking. Do you know what I mean? But when you get it back down to perfect, as you said, that creative flow, like you're in a flow for the day and the week. Do you know what I mean? Because when you've got everyday structure like that, there's nothing that can throw a spanner in the works for you. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You're flowing through the day, you're flowing through the week. It's Monday, next thing, it's Friday. And
exactly,
the weeks
100%.
just fly by like that.
Like I was even doing, like, as myself, like when I started real estate, I was doing starting at 10 o'clock in the morning, obviously, so I got up at about 7, start my morning off, do my morning routines or whatever, hit work for about quarter to 10, in around that time, start at 10. Not getting out of work until 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the night. And I'm drained and I'm tired. But now, as the days go on, the past couple of weeks, I'm getting off work at 4:30, 5 o'clock every day, regardless of what I have going on. But obviously, if a viewing comes up or something important, or I have to meet someone or a landlord, then I'll, add it in. But if it comes to from cold calling to actually working hard, like in the workspace, I'll be leaving at 5 o'clock in the day. And that's just me personally, because I need to fit my health in.
Yeah, it's finding that balance.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's finding that balance, and for you personally, staying at work, you could stay till 7 o'clock, and that stuff you would have done between 4:30 and 7 might be worth shite. Do you know what I mean? Because you could have plateaued at 5 o'clock, and you would have been better off just going home, going to the gym, getting your head right, and getting rested.
And imagine that over time as a person. Your health is actually deteriorating. Your mind is deteriorating. You think you're doing well because you're trying to work hard, but you're forgetting about your body. You're forgetting about your mind. You're forgetting about how you are as a person. You know what I mean? And then it's just, to me, you look at saying, oh, geez, he's not putting this much weight on, or I'm not bleeding doing this.
But as we said, like those, those 1%ers going forward, like you pushing them boundaries, them little 1%s that all add up, like it can work in reverse too. Do you know what I mean? If you're losing those 1%ers every day, or you're going back those 1%, before you know it, you're 25-30% behind where you were.
Exactly.
It's like you need to watch them.
The balance.
Absolutely the balance.
You're so distracted of the good things that could happen, then you're forgetting about, oh shit, this is the actual backbone of it, and this is where, you know what I mean, develop as a person.
So like, what are those backbones? Like you touched on, like morning routine, like what?
Like morning routine, like it was very hard for me over here. But like back at Dublin, I'll go back to Dublin, as in like the morning routine that we have set in place is like I get up at 6, go for a sea swim every single morning. Every single morning, go for a sea swim. Because one of my friends used to do it at home. Straight into the sea, come home, do a bit of meditating, 10 minutes or so, read, have me breakfast, go to the gym. At home, I didn't walk as much as, like, I had flexibility. I sold cars and stuff, so I had flexibility with my time, so I could kind of go to the gym anytime. But I always done them things every morning. Cold, swimming, and I enjoyed it. And that's the backbone of me. That helped me as a person and grow as a person personally. Now, I don't know what helps you, but that helped me in big time.
Why do you think, like, those cold swims, those meditations, like what is it that helps you grow, in your opinion?
Your mind. It's all about your mind. If you don't look after your mind, like, where you go, like, what, for me as a person, like, why it helped me was basically the fact of, because I knew you're supposed to do these things as a person. Do you know what I mean? And I think a lot of us know what we're supposed to do, but don't do it. I'm a victim of it. I think everyone is at one stage, but when you realise the meditating, the sea swims, when you actually get into that rhythm, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
As we spoke about there, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago on the podcast too, like, you know, actually realising that doing those little things can make such a difference to your mindset, and then overall make a difference to how you're feeling and whether you're going to have a good day or a bad day.
Exactly.
So I mean, like, I used to just leave having a good day or a bad day up to chance. So I mean, I wake up this morning, it's going to be a good day, it's going to be a bad day, I'm going to feel shit today, I'm going to feel good. So when you're actually monitoring how you're feeling and monitoring the things you're doing, all right, I did this today, these made me feel good, and I did this and this the other day and they made me feel shy. And when you cut them out and, you know, regulate those things, you can just control everything so much better. Do you know what I mean?
100, agree with that, definitely 100%. Like, for me, I noticed that if you don't start taking like responsibility for your actions, whether it's, I don't know, and it could be anything in your life, you know what I mean, whether it's not going to the gym on time or missing the odd day in the gym. I'm just going back to the gym because I find the gym was where I developed as a human. And what I mean by that is it's just open my mind up. The people in the gym are always on things, they always want things, they're go-getters, they want things out of life. Like, I know for a fact, like, if you look at somebody and that, you know what I mean, you can be happy and fat if you want. Yeah. But if you're fat and you look at someone that's in, you know, like reasonably shape and they look like they're actually trying in the gym and they're trying, it's discipline. If, like, I was saying actually the other day on a podcast, I was watching a podcast and someone said, look, for someone that goes to the gym or someone that meditates or reads, and then for someone that just doesn't do any of these things, I'm more likely to hire him as a person and take him serious because look at the shape he's in. Look at the mind frame he has of doing these things.
Yeah, they're consistent. Yeah. So they take life seriously. Yeah. They care about their output.
Definitely, 100%.
Yeah, and they've got the discipline to keep doing that on a daily basis. And yeah, from that meditation, it's like the days that I don't do it, I notice myself more reactive. And it's actually living with intention. It's internally thinking, like, and feeling your emotions, that when anger pops up, when anxiety pops up, when whatever pops up, you notice that because you're so self-reflective every single morning for 10 minutes. When those things do creep up, you can just notice those thoughts.
Of course.
You're not in reactive mode, that you're not just victim of your external environment and walking through life just guided by your emotions, that you are living with intention, that you are the one choosing how you live, how you react, and how you overall feel.
Yeah,
it's been a difference of night and day for me.
100%. I totally agree. What about yourself? Do you agree with that? Like,
oh yeah, absolutely. And definitely since being over here, since living with Brian, definitely notice it more myself. Probably because seeing Brian do all those things, doing his journaling, doing his meditation,
it rubs off you, doesn't it?
100%.
Yeah, 100%. It definitely does.
And it, as you said, it's the difference in night and day. Like, those little 1%ers here, there, and everywhere, they build up. And I wouldn't be able to work the hours I'm working now without those things, without that energy management, without
the control
that
on the mind,
awareness.
the meditate. Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
It pushes that a little bit further. You even realise that, like, for me now, you had Brian, and then Brian, obviously, I don't know where he, like, I don't know who introduced you to meditating or reading or whatever it is. But for me, I took that journey on myself. And when I was doing that journey myself, I was like, it's lonely. You're saying, oh, Jesus, yeah, you feel a bit different to everyone else. But then all kind of snowballs together. It's the journey of going to the gym and doing all that. The confidence comes together. You start to relax as a person because you're meditating. Yes, your anxiety is gone. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's the confidence, and then everything just comes together as a person. And then you're just, you know, gradually growing.
Yeah,
and it just comes together like over time.
I completely agree, and I think that's what's important about surrounding yourself with people, like-minded people, and that's really what we're trying to make a push for. But yeah, look, man, it's been an absolute pleasure to be on here.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you having us here.
Yeah, thanks a million, Ty.
Yeah,
thanks for having us.
No problem.
It's been an absolute pleasure, you know. As you said, getting into deeper conversation, you know,
getting to know
one more
people.
person a day, man. That's all. That's
what it's all about. Just to remind everyone, that anyone that is watching, what is our podcast called?
Yeah, you can get us at the Playbook. So basically, Playbook on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. That's
perfect, Liam. It was very nice meeting you today, coming in. Thanks for joining me. Same as yourself, Brian. Perfect, great chat. And we should see you soon.
Onwards and upwards.
Yeah, onwards and upwards. It's the boy life. You'll see us next time now. Absolutely. All of us have a Lamborghini each.
Been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ike.
No problem. Thanks.